My old friend!
Marcia is an old friend of mine. She lives next door, and I've known her forever. We've been friends, enemies, strangers, and buddies, depending on our ages and the different stages of our lives. Not boyfriend and girlfriend, just a friend of the opposite sex. Someone who just happens to be around and you talk to them. We were both 18 now and currently good friends. We went on dates together, but it was always a group, and Marcia and I were just a loose couple, like people in groups do. No commitment and no guarantees that we would leave a party or anything together. There were times when we didn't, and it didn't bother either of us. Just friends, like I said. It was spring, and it was a warm day. My parents were away for the weekend, and I knew Marcia was home alone. Instead of both of us hanging around our houses, I wandered over to her house and asked if she wanted to walk around the mall and look around. She was agreeable, but looked down at herself and told me to come in and wait while she put on another top. Not that I had any objection to the top she was wearing. As I said, it was a hot day, and Marcia was wearing jeans, tight, and a bikini top. However, I could understand her reluctance to walk around the mall in a bikini top. I went downstairs with her to her room, expecting her to just throw on a t-shirt or blouse. To my surprise, after nonchalantly asking me not to look, she half turned around and took off her bikini top. Don't look. Marcia, have I ever told you I'm of a different orientation? I asked carelessly. She turned around sharply to look at me, and her mouth opened in surprise. I nearly had a heart attack from the full-length view I now had opened up to me. No, I had no idea. How long have you known? Her voice sounded utterly shocked. I probably never told you that because I'm not like that. So I was wondering what gave you the idea that I was the wrong orientation. She blinked, looking puzzled. What made you think I thought you were the wrong orientation? She asked. Because, I said, reaching out and lightly touching one of those lovely breasts, when a lovely young lady like you starts undressing in front of a young man like me, it's for one of 3 reasons. She thinks he's the wrong orientation and is safe. She's an innocent idiot. Or she wants him to make love to her. Now, you don't think I'm the wrong orientation, and I never thought you were an idiot. Innocent maybe, but not an idiot. That leaves a 3rd option. You want me to make love to you. What? You've got to be kidding me. You wouldn't. You're just a friend. You shouldn't think about things like that. I know I'm a friend. Can you think of anything friendlier? You should know that you're a very attractive young woman. Why the hell shouldn't I want to make love to you? Marcia blushed, suddenly realizing that she was half naked, and crossed her arms over her chest, trying to hide them. I'm sorry, she mumbled. It didn't even occur to me that you'd want to... I didn't think you were the kind of... I'm not expressing this very well, am I? No, you're not, I agreed, showing my amusement. Are you trying to tell me that you didn't think I was that attracted to you? She nodded frantically. Then you're underestimating yourself, I said. Any man I know would be happy to seduce you. Why would I be any different? Anyway, I only took off my top, she said defensively. It's not like I actually took my clothes off. I know, I said in a friendly tone. That's why I thought I should give you fair warning before you took off your jeans. I wasn't going to take them off, Marcia said firmly. I know you didn't. But what are your intentions now? I reached out and undid the button at her waist. A small tug undid the zipper a few centimeters, but that was all I did. What are you doing? You're not taking them off, she protested. Again, I know. I'm just making it easier for you to take them off. All you have to do is get out of them. I faked an innocent smile. Huh. You just hinted that if I did something like that, you'd... Her voice trembled and she blushed. Right. If you keep filming them, I'll really be as you put it. So are they coming down or not? Are you asking me to let you make love to me? She said quietly. You could hear the shock and slight consternation in her voice. But I've never... I mean, I've never thought of you that way. You mean you've never done that before? I said calmly. We all have to start sometimes, and who better for the first time than a good friend who will be careful? How about a spunky lover who thinks highly of me? She snapped. The house is at our disposal, so why not? Marcia seemed a little perturbed by my rejection of a spunky lover. And what the hell makes you think you'd be any better? She snapped at me. It may not be true, but I'm willing to give it a try. Are you taking off your jeans? I'd be an idiot to take my jeans off. I thought we were going to the mall. We can do that later if you want. In jeans? You have a lopsided mind. How often do I have to say no? Ah, you haven't actually said no yet, I pointed out. Just hesitating while you made your decision. Take your time. I don't mind you arguing about it while you decide. By deciding, you mean doing what you want to do. She cut me off. I didn't say anything, just smiled at her. She had forgotten that her breasts were still exposed and jiggled freely as she waved her arms around. She glared at me fiercely, muttering something to herself. Something about maniacs with egos so big they probably got hernias trying to wear them. We seemed to be at an impasse. She didn't take off her jeans, but she didn't put on a top either. I could take a hint, even if she wasn't giving me one. What came after that was a scream. We're back, Marcia. Are you home? Panic gives a girl strength and speed, as I discovered. Marcia pushed me away from her and was almost fully dressed while I was still climbing out of bed. I didn't realize a girl could dress so quickly, especially in such tight jeans. I was still pulling my clothes on, cursing to myself, when Marcia yelled downstairs to her parents. I'm up here, Mom. Brian's here. He just got here. We're going down to the mall. Damn it, I just got here. Marcia said it deliberately, smirking at me as she did so. We walked down the stairs. Marcia was happy and laughing, and I was trying to hide the bag of blue balloons that had suddenly appeared. My parents are away for the weekend, I mumbled as we left. Maybe, but your house is that way and the mall is the other way. My parents might be surprised if they saw us going in the wrong direction. Her parents wouldn't notice which way we went, and we both knew it, but there was nothing I could do about it. I had my chance, and now it was gone. Probably forever, I thought grimly. We walked on towards the mall, without mentioning the topic we probably both wanted to touch on. At least I'm sure I wanted to. The flavor I tasted just wasn't enough. Marcia seemed quite pleased that nothing came out of our little game, but I couldn't really blame her for that. I kept my mouth shut and tried to act my usual friendly blue ball friendly self. As expected, we ran into other people at the mall. A couple guys tried to get between Marcia and me, but I deftly fought them off. Or maybe not so subtly, judging by the surprised looks Marcia threw at me. We ended up going to the bowling alley attached to the mall. All in all, not a bad evening. As we headed home, Marcia threw a glance at me and giggled. I knew damn well why she was giggling and threw her a wry look that only made her giggle even more. We walked together like friends walking together. From the mall, there are two ways back to our houses. Take the long way or take a shortcut straight through the park. Being in a middle-class urban neighborhood, the park was quite safe day and night, and neither of us thought twice about crossing it. We just automatically turned around when we got to it and headed on. The night was bright, with a big moon and lots of stars. Not a cloud in sight, and the air was warm, with a slight breeze, and even the breeze was warm. What they call a melting breeze when it first appears, melting the winter snow. There is a big old oak tree growing in the center of the park. Kids have been climbing this tree for the last 100 years, myself included. As we passed under it, the night seemed to get a little darker, and Marcia pressed a little tighter against me. I stopped, turned, put my arms around her and kissed her. Marcia hesitated only a moment, and then kissed me back enthusiastically. I think it was easier for her this time than before, because now she was wearing clothes. Now it's just human nature to try your luck a little. I figured I could at least feel Marcia's breasts, so I pulled the back of her shirt out of her jeans and slid my hands up her back, intending to see how she would react if I unclasped her bra. The worst she could do was say no. As my hands slid over her smooth skin, Marcia pulled away from me slightly. Not in rejection, but seemingly in anticipation. I could have sworn I heard her giggle again. As it was, my hands ran up her back, higher and higher until they almost reached her shoulders. You may have noticed that I had to get dressed in a hurry," Marcia said quietly. "I had to discount it. It was done by me. We made love under that tree." We lay there, both of us breathing heavily and slowly coming to our senses. "Ah, Marcia, as nice as this is, you can't sleep here," I advised her. She groaned. "I don't want to move," she muttered. "I'm just going to lie here until they come to take me away." "I suppose you could, but do you really want them to come and take you away? Naked?" I asked. She said a rude word. I hope it wasn't addressed to me, because it was very rude, but I suspected it was. The next few minutes were interesting. It was dark under this tree, and we had to crawl around trying to find our clothes. After finally getting dressed, we headed home. "You won't feel any pain in the future," I muttered. "I'll just give you pleasure." Marcia didn't say anything, but a triumphant smirk appeared on her lips. I couldn't help but feel a little suspicious, wondering if I'd really seduced her or if I'd been seduced myself. Not that it bothered me. It was all rather fascinating. The end!